Hello and hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing? So something that I find kind of fascinating about Germany is how much more stringent the process is for what vehicles are allowed on the road, especially compared to over here in America. And, well, I mean, specifically Indiana. Some states in America do have certain, inspections, like once a year, I guess. I don't know. I've never had that at all. Pretty much over here in Indiana, it's whatever. You know what I mean? It's pretty much whatever. There's no inspections, and most stuff isn't even against the law as far as, what tread your tire has to be at. Even that, it's like whatever. Like, you could be driving down the road with flat tires, and it's like, okay. You're an idiot, but, I don't think that's breaking a law. There are things like if your headlights are out, that's against the law. You have to get that fixed. You're going to get pulled over for that. Or, any lights. And even a lot of times, even things like the mirrors, I'm pretty sure you can take them off sometimes. As long as you have a way of viewing your blind spots or something. Point is, there's not a lot of restrictions on what is allowed to drive here in Indiana. So I think that's very antithetical to Germany. So I'm curious to see exactly what kind of restrictions this video I found I'm excited for. Because it's five common ways to fail the German car inspection. And it's in English. So that's why I'm excited. That's pretty cool. Go check out DTV Daniel Television. Link down below. I've already skipped to the part where he's going to talk about the 5 common ways to fail. They're basically going to compare these two Jeeps. And I just think it's fascinating. It's kind of random, I admit that, but I think it's pretty fascinating. So let's do it.
Me as a Jeep fan, I love, but the German TÜV doesn't like them too much. Let's start with the tires, because there's a lot of details about...
And this guy is a master mechanic in Germany.
Tires in a lot of cases are underestimated, especially here in Europe, because there's so many laws in regards to the tires. One example is, if you look at the tires here, they're fully open. In the States, that's fine with that bumper there. However, when you bring a vehicle to Europe, or specifically Germany, you have to make sure that those front tires are covered by the front bumper.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's pretty, see, this is what I mean. It's pretty particular.
In comparison to that, if you take a look at mine there, the front tires are fully covered. So we're
Gotcha.
talking about this part here.
Okay.
To be honest, it kind of makes sense to me that there's way more restrictions. Like, just from, a logical perspective, these are 90% of these things are gonna be safety related, I assume. Now, of course, I also do love freedom, so it's like you gotta kind of have a mix, but when it comes to cars on the road, I do want them to be safe.
Area here, so on this one, in order for it to stay legal, this bumper has to cover the tire to at least 50%. Especially on these off-road vehicles, always make sure that the front tires are covered by that bumper. That's the easiest way to put it. And another thing about tires, they're not allowed to stick out. So if you're looking at this Wrangler,
Oh my God.
you look alongside of the vehicle, you see that those...
Oh my God. These people, everyone I know in Indiana would be screwed with these restrictions. There are people here that have 2 tires on their trucks. Like, on each... What am I saying? They have 8 tires, you know what I mean? Each axle has 4 tires. There's 2 tires just having a whole nother tire sticking out next to it. Why? I don't really know. I'm going to be honest, I don't really know. I guess they go and they crawl on rocks and shit. To be honest, I don't do... I don't... It's kind of cool. I do think it's kind of annoying when I'm trying to drive next to them on the road. But there's plenty. And then that's not even the amount of trucks that drive around with tires that stick out from the body of the car. That's most trucks.
tires are sticking out a bit. That can be a fail, even just that little bit past this point right here, the edge of this flare. I've seen inspectors literally take a ruler, go down the flare, and then you see that it's actually sticking out a bit.
Wow.
On this one, as long as this area here is covered, that's fine. But rear bumpers have never really been an issue. It's always the front bumpers because you have the steering up there, and then once you start driving, you'll also have all the water squirting to the front of the vehicle. In German terms, it's also a safety issue because it's a spinning part, and if a body part gets into there, it's a safety issue. Just to
I like the sound effect.
save some headache if your car goes to inspection, there's a couple of things that you can check yourself. I have 3 examples here.
So how often is it once a year? Let me see this. How often is it called the TÜV TUF? Is German car inspection? That's what I want to know. Passenger cars must pass a safety and emission inspection after 3 years for new cars, and then every 2 years. The TÜV TUV.
I mean, if you look at this tire here, this is a perfect summer tire. You have a very nice tread depth right here, an even surface. The using surface here is...
See, I mean, tires are expensive, and I have been economically challenged enough at certain times to where I just drive the tires till they pop. Just replace one tire at a time. That tire popped. Damn it. You know, put the spare on, go to Walmart, and yes, you can get a tire at Walmart. Get a new tire on there, or get a used tire for real cheap, put it on there. So yeah, that's pretty much the opposite of this.
Very even. On the other side here, I've got 2 very extreme tires, but they give you a good idea what your tire will look like when your vehicle needs an alignment. If the steering and the suspension is misaligned, then you'll have a
wear unevenly.
picture like this, where the tire is worn uneven. In some cases, you'll see like here the edge is worn, is nearly bald, but the left-hand side of the tire still has some tread. What inspection does is they always use the lowest tread profile on the tire to make
Of course they do.
up what the tread depth is. This here is pretty much the lowest of the tire. So they're not going to measure the best tread, which in this case on the left-hand side is 3 millimeters. They're going to measure here.
What is that? That's not even a millimeter, right?
Where we're looking at maybe 1 millimeter. So in these cases, this car would need an alignment. The same with this one. If your tires look like this, a very even surface, your
That looks brand new.
alignment is good. In regards to tread depth and to limits, if it's a winter tire, the minimum recommendation when you should change your tires is 1.6
Do you have to have winter tires in the winter?
millimeters. Summer tires, we're looking at 3 millimeters. Daytime running lights, headlights, blinkers, tail lights, if they have any kind of aftermarket light bulbs that are LED, they are not allowed. They have to be aligned. Newer
Wait, LED lights aren't allowed?
cars nowadays,
That can't be right. But for some reason, aftermarket LEDs aren't allowed?
they have the automatic alignment and the headlight adjustment. You don't have to adjust those. Okay. Now on this Wrangler, for example, there is a headlight adjustment, a manual one where you can adjust them, but that can be measured and then you just adjust them and then they're good to go.
Can I just modify my vehicle after passing inspection?
That's a negative. Of course you can do that. Yeah. However, if you get pulled over, the police can put your vehicle in a non-op status, which means you are not driving that vehicle until those changes have been put back to the
Even from there, like they're gonna tow it? Oh, that's rough.
original state. We were all young. Yeah. I've done it back when I was a teenager, but if you want to stay legal, make sure that the parts on your car are legal. In the US,
Got it. I feel like over here in the States, one thing that is like sort of commonly checked, like a restriction, is the tint. It can't be past a certain point, the tint. So cops have like a little meter that measures how much light can go through it. And that's a pretty common thing that people, I don't know why you would over tint your car, because the legal amount is still pretty dark. Whatever.
US, we're all allowed to use the LED light bulbs. Here in Germany, that is a failed inspection.
Wait, so you can't have LED light bulbs? Aren't those more efficient though? Like they're, I feel like they're environmental. Now, to what extent it's like, that's really small environmental thing, but still, they don't burn out.
All the headlights have to have the original light bulbs in there. You'll notice my Wrangler has LED headlights in it. It's an older vehicle. However, he's coming with the certification. So if you spend the extra money, you get headlights with certification, you can put them on your vehicle. You get a document that says that they're allowed to be put
So you have to carry a document just for your headlights if you get that.
on this vehicle with a certain lumen of light, and then you just carry that paper with you at all times and you're good to go.
You just carry that. Okay. All right. I mean, you just put it in your glove box. Okay. Wow.
Exhaust, the law here says
I mean, I assume obviously if it's a new car with LED headlights, that's fine. I guess that goes without saying. He's
exhaust
talking about older cars.
is not allowed to be louder than 95 decibels. Any exhaust louder than that can get you fined, can get the vehicle put in op, even
Once again, everybody here in Indiana would be screwed.
if the vehicle was delivered to you like that. So if you go to a buddy and you buy a Mustang with a sports exhaust, and the police stops you and you tell the German police, oh, I bought it like that. No, that's not gonna fly, buddy, because they're gonna fine you, they're gonna re-inspect the vehicle, and unless you put it back in OE state, it's gonna stay where it's at. We've had these situations too often. Because we had a customer, he bought a Shelby from us, and he went to the inspection, he failed inspection. Then I made sure that we got the documentation, he went back to inspection, and everything was fine. At the end of the day, a lot of things here in Germany, as long as you have documentation that is legal, you're good to go. In his case, I actually got in contact with the German Ford dealership that just confirmed that there was a certificate.
You kind of wish they could, like, I don't know, put like a QR code on like a sticker somewhere. How about that for an idea? Okay, guys, follow me along here. QR code documentation certification stickers that when you get a modification certified for your car, they put the sticker either onto your registration or onto the inside, where the door closes on the car. And that way, boom, 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 all your certifications are right there. I don't know what or not, you know what I mean? I don't know why I'm so concerned about that.
Number.
It just seems like you're potentially having to carry a lot of documentation, and then the cops are having to flip through all sorts of documentation. Seems like a lot.
On the exhaust that they got the documentation for, and then we just showed that to inspection. They were good with it. I've had many of those lifted trucks. And that's, I don't know how many. And out of all of those in the last 7 years, I had one customer that actually knew what he was doing when he lifted his truck. You can lift your truck as long as...
Every Indiana person moving to Germany breathed a sigh of relief right there. That was them. Okay, I can lift my truck.
Once you're done with it, it's still safe. I have seen lifted trucks with tension on the brake hoses, which means you go off-roading, go through a ditch or up a hill or whatever the case, rock crawling, and you snap your brake hose. Well, you can imagine going off-roading and your brakes fail. Those are the little safety things that, so if you want to get your
that would be bad.
Truck lifted, have it done professionally, and if it's done professionally, it'll pass inspection.
Right?
Yeah, that would pass because we already checked underneath. All the brake hoses are fine. There's no tension on the brake hoses. Okay. There's no rubbing parts, and there's no knocking parts. Okay. Those are the things to look out for. Tinted windows. They used to be allowed here. They stopped allowing the windows to be tinted in the front. Zero.
I was gonna say I can see some tinted windows right there, but okay, no tint on the front windows. Damn. Here in America, I mean, obviously you can't tint your windshield. I don't know why I couldn't think of that name. Windshield. But you can tint, everything else. Can you tint your back windshield? I don't know. Probably not. Well, actually, I think you can. Hold on. Can you tint your back windshield in Indiana? That's the question, folks. Yes, you can. Yes, you
Unless
can.
it's factory. The back can be tinted all the way up to the B pillar, which is, so the front doors cannot be tinted. So in this case, I would say you can tint to right about here, unless it's factory.
Hey, I'm PCSing to Germany soon. What should I do with my heavily modified vehicle?
For someone that's coming to Europe and has a heavily modified vehicle, my suggestion, save yourself the headache.
Sell it.
Use the time that you will spend here in Germany trying to get your car up to the German standards with traveling. Come over here to Germany, buy something that's compatible to what you have in the States. Take some of the funds that you get for the vehicle that you sold, buy something here, and use your time a little bit more productive rather than having to deal with these German laws. That can be more than a headache.
Yeah, that sounds that sounds horrible. That's great advice. Then again, I'm not like, I've never modified my car. I mean, I like cars and stuff. It's just never been a hobby of mine. So yeah, I'm not bothering with all that. Holy shit. That sounds like such a headache. It sounds like enough of a headache trying to get just you, yourself, and your family into a different country to live there, let alone your car. Just leave the car. And you gotta pay to ship it there? I guess that's, from America at least.
Headache, it is time consuming, and we all know in the military we have other headaches and things to worry about technical stuff just to take you from work and home and travel a bit.
I didn't think about military. That's interesting. Well, that was actually a really fascinating video. Go check out DTV Daniel Television. Link down below. This dude was awesome. Very knowledgeable. And spoke, perfect English. That was awesome. And I learned a lot. I learned that my car would probably be fine in Germany. I just need some new tires. Okay, the whole driving them till they pop. Apparently, that's not what you do in Germany, and that's for the best. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.